Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aggie Experience Live. Congratulations to you and everyone admitted to UC Davis. You are going to make a great class of 2024. We're happy you and your families are joining us again today. I'm Katerina Contreras, proud Aggie alumni, class of 2014, and I saw the comment section just blowing up for Winston. He's definitely a UC Davis celebrity now, so keep blowing up those comments if you want to keep Winston here today. Winston, look, everyone loves you. Yes. All this week, we've been showing you things that I think will make you even more excited about becoming a UC Davis Aggie. You know, today we're talking about a question on the minds of everyone. What's student life like at UC Davis? If you're watching live, you know, you can submit questions using that Zoom Q&A button right there on the bottom of your screen. And, you know, now I'm going to throw some great resources at you from the web addresses, but don't feel like you have to write them down. We'll drop them right in the chat so you can find them and you can click it, and it's super easy. Winston needs to see everyone keep blowing up his name right now because he's getting a little bit shy, okay? So remember, we are recording this, so if you miss a segment or you just want to see it again, no problem. You can watch it at ucdavis.edu/aggieexperience. And if you have any follow-up questions about admissions, then don't miss our chat session right after this. Chat with live admission advisors starting at 5:15 p.m. at ucdavis.edu/QA. Look, Winston, everyone loves you. We're going to put him down right now. And if you have questions on literally like just about anything, including topics covered here today, you'll find answers galore at ucdavis.edu/experts. And again, if you didn't catch all of those URLs, don't worry. We're going to drop them right into the chat here so you can find them nice and easy. And by the way, speaking of links, some guests have been dropping their own links in the chat. And I'm asking you, please do not do this. If the link doesn't include UC Davis or Aggie Live, it's not ours. Don't trust it. Be careful. There's some stuff in there that you should not be clicking. And you know, in just a moment, I'm going to introduce our panelists to discuss athletics, campus recreation, and the arts. But first, I'm going to play you a nice short video intro. So if you experience a little internet lag, remember, these are unusual circumstances. Please be patient. Please be kind, or else I can't bring Winston back. You have to be nice to us, all right? So let's check out this video.
Hello everyone, my name is Connor. I want to take one quick moment of your time and tell you why I love UC Davis.
I personally love
how beautiful the campus is,
our campus atmosphere, the outdoorsy feel,
farmers market,
playing in the sunshine on the quad,
people I've met along the way,
the community,
the whole UC Davis community.
So I'm pretty sure many of you all are wondering, man, what are the things to do even in Davis? One of the things that a lot of people always talk about is our farmers markets. Our farmers markets are wonderful.
I love that Davis has a farmers market and you can go there Wednesday nights or Saturday mornings and just hang out with your friends then.
You also have an opportunity just to spend time in our downtown. We have a lot of local eateries, restaurants.
With my friends and I, we've really been taking the time to savor every moment we have in our college town. Whether it's going into downtown Davis to go get a quick bite to eat, a burrito, sit down dinner, everywhere is super friendly to college students and that student budget.
Davis itself is such a cool community. It is a small town with a big university, but there's so much to do, whether it's just going for a walk in the Arboretum, going to say hi to the cows, going downtown. There's so much going on pretty much every night.
One of the things that I noticed right off the bat at my tour about Davis is how friendly and welcoming everyone is.
If you hold up a map on campus, someone's bound to walk up to you and ask you if you need help getting somewhere.
I remember when I was visiting the campus, I was walking around with a giant map that they might give you in the Welcome Center. I was probably looking for the cows or something. And 5 or 6 people actually got off while they were biking and asked me if I needed help and knew where I was going. And from that moment, I knew that this is the place that I wanted to be. definitely consider the quality of life that you want to have while going to the university. It's really important that you are overall healthy and mentally healthy as well. It can be a big transition for students. Just make sure that the school really fits the kind of lifestyle that you want to lead.
I personally love going to the gym to stay fit and motivated.
Art, which is probably the best part of UC Davis. It's huge, it has lots of facilities, whether you're like basketball, running, lifting weights, or dancing. I personally like doing martial arts a lot.
We aspire to be very competitive at the Division I level. The example that we're trying to set for student athletes of all ages about how you can combine athletics and academics so that when you graduate, you're ready to take the next step and launch into the world successfully.
With so many possibilities, your student life is what you make it at UC Davis.
Congratulations again on being accepted, and go Ags!
Go Ags!
Go Ags!
Alrighty, let's introduce our first panelist of the day. From intercollegiate athletics, Aggie football team member, and on-court basketball MC, Darius Livingston. From the Minetti Strem Museum of Art, visitor services student assistant, Karen Bretz. And from campus recreation, it's Andrea Summer. In just a second, they're gonna pop on up. We have so many different questions for everyone. All right, hello. I see Darius. Hi, Darius. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good. Winston was really upset with me.
You was taking the crowd by storm.
Honestly,
Crazy.
this is Winston's show right now, Darius. Are you okay with that?
I'm perfectly fine with that. Back that man up.
So, Darius, before everyone pops on up, I want to ask you a question. You know, you're a football player and the basketball MC, which, hey, did you know that was my old job? Did you know that?
We've had conversation at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So can you, I mean, clearly you know sports. You're on the fan level, you're playing in sports. So can you tell us what Aggies can look forward to when they attend an Aggie sport, all different kinds?
Yeah, most definitely. Commitment to excellence, especially just, we use this term, you know, we coined it Aggie pride, and a lot of athletes here, they take it to heart. You know, every time we touch that field, court, pool, whatever it may be, we do it with a sense of pride and a sense of service. And we're pretty good. I mean, women's team just won like 4th back-to-back championship. Men's team went to March Madness not too long ago. And, you know, I may be a little biased, but that football squad did. They won a Big Sky Conference 2 years ago. So, you know, there's this cliche saying, defense wins championships, offense sells tickets. And we play an exciting brand across the board. So.
Okay, and speaking of football, I think this is football. I remember this last season. What is the running of the first years?
Running of the first years, I would describe it as kind of just like an inception of the freshmen. You know, you get some pretty exclusive stuff. You guys sign up, and during the halftime of our first home game, when everybody's back, you get a unique opportunity to run on the field with us during halftime, I believe. So it's a pretty cool deal.
Did you attend the running of the first years when you were first year? Or you were playing?
Given that I'm a player, I was not able to see that opportunity, but very unique, very interesting, and an opportunity you all should take advantage of before the game.
Yeah.
Before the game, not during halftime, before the game.
All right. Karen, hello. Andrea, hello. Hanging
Hello.
out with us. How are you two?
Good. Very excited to be here.
Yes. Before I let Darius go, I wanted to ask one question about running of the first years. I want you to describe the energy, because we're talking about, you know, this opportunity, but unless you're there and maybe you can help them understand really how hyped up everyone gets in that community and just honestly like the spirit, give us a little bit of that energy. I know you have energy, Darius.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Give it to us.
I feel like for those out there who have FOMO, you know, fear of missing out, this is something you don't want to miss out on. A truly unique experience, something that's going to be something you remember way down the road when you graduate from this prestigious university. And the marketing team just did a great job of enhancing the student experience across the board, whether that be with giveaways, student involvement, always trying to figure out a way to serve you guys. And this is just one of the plethora of ways that we're truly able to do so.
Definitely. You do not want to have FOMO with this event, because
Exactly.
when we say the energy is wild, and I've never seen people run as fast as they run across
Faster than me.
Right? I mean, they're sprinting. It's like, whoa, some of these people need to be on the football team.
That's what I was about to say. Have some tryouts for them.
I love it. Well, you know, if you have any questions for Darius, he's going to be hanging out, and I have a few more myself. But remember, drop that question in the Zoom Q&A. There's a little button at the bottom. Submit any questions you want to know. Karen, you know, you work at the Minetti Museum of Art. Can you talk a little about what kind of museum is it?
Yeah, so we are a super cool museum on the edge of campus where we are free for all students, all members of the community who want to come check it out. And we have rotating exhibits every like 3 or 4 months. You'll see lots of really intriguing art, so lots of contemporary art, so things that are going to make you think about what it means to be like human, or what it means to just be a person in this world, which is really awesome. So you can go there, expand your mind, take a break from your classes, and really just enjoy the art culture here at Davis, which is really strong.
Oh, it definitely is. And, you know, besides actually seeing the art, what else can I do there? I know you have other things.
Yeah, yes. So every weekend you can come to the museum, and we have free sort of hands-on time where you can make cool arts and crafts. You can do painting, you can do collages, sometimes you can do sculpture, or we'll have live models where you can draw them, which is pretty awesome as well. You can come listen to artists who are actually from our community, so you can really get a flavor of, you know, what Davis is like in our art culture, which is really awesome.
Definitely. And I love art, but one of my number one things that I really love is fitness. It's one of my main passions. And I know UC Davis has an amazing new facility called the Arc. Now, Andrea, can you tell us a little bit about the Arc and why I'm so jealous since I'm old? We've already discussed this. Everyone here, the community knows I'm old. I didn't get to see the brand new and improved Arc, and I'm very jealous. Tell me why I can be jealous.
Yeah, so my freshman year, it was under construction. So I've seen it from the old to the new, and the new Arc it's huge, and there's, I know we have one of the largest weightlifting rooms. They have this cool lighting, and it's really awesome because there's many students who come in and out of it every day. We offer classes at the Arc. There's also an outdoor workout experience. There's basketball courts, martial arts, dance classes. You can really find anything, and you can be any level of an athlete or someone who wants to start training. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and I will say it's what a lot of students, I think, like the most on tours. Unfortunately, we can't show you the Arc right now, but it is huge.
It is gigantic. Even when I was a student back in the good old days, it was still gigantic, and I can't even imagine. It's very impressive. And so the other impressive thing that I heard, Andrea, is that Davis has the only equestrian center in the whole UC system. Like, can I learn how to ride, or what? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so a lot of people think of Davis as Aggie's farmers, and the horses go right along with that. And within the equestrian center, we offer lessons as well as boarding. So if you own your own horse,
that's a tongue twister for sure.
Yeah. So you can go from beginning to advanced lessons. You can, like I said, you can board your horse there at the equestrian center, and there's also sport club teams where they actually travel and compete against other California and other schools around the country that also have equestrian club teams.
And so I really want to engage the audience right now. So everyone listening, if you have a favorite sport, I want you to drop it in the chat right now. Let's see our favorite sports pop up. What favorite sports do we have? There we go. Starting to fire off. And while you're dropping all of those comments, Darius, can you let me know, what does it cost students to actually attend a sporting event?
Students are completely free to all sporting events. No, really. Really?
No, no.
No, really. No, really. They are
99, is
completely
that what
free
you're saying?
for all students. You simply have to bring your ID card, show proof that you're a student, of course, and enjoy the event.
And so say I want to go to a game, and I mean, we have fans of almost every single sport that UC Davis offers right now. How can I find these game dates?
I would recommend following at UC Davis Aggies. I believe that is their Twitter and Instagram handle. That is the handle for all athletic related things at UC Davis. And then within that, there will be the specific sport pages tagged. For example, football, basketball, your favorites. But for generally speaking, all sports related items, I'd recommend following that page right there.
Okay, and actually we have a question coming in for
Okay.
you, Darius, from Alexis. Alexis
Okay.
wants to know, how do you join the squad or the spirit squad, the cheerleading and the dance teams? Because they know that you were probably an ambassador of one of them, right, Darius?
I for sure had my due diligence with some pom-poms. No, but those are all separate clubs, and you would want to get in contact with those specific clubs. They have similar like captains, and within that presidents, I'm sure. Get in contact with them. They'd have all the information you need regarding tryouts, I'm sure, and information containing all of that.
Awesome. And honestly, for everyone listening that's like, sports, not my thing, don't want to talk about sports, we're going to head over to Karen because I need you to talk about the Mondavi Center for Performing Arts because it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So Mondavi is a great way to kind of dive more into our art culture here as well. So for students, you get one free ticket starting out, which is pretty awesome. And you can also get discounted tickets as a student as well. But you name it, they've got it. You can see a super cool theater performance. You can see musicians. You can also see your fellow classmates in the various different like concert band ensembles. So that's been really fun. That's what I've done a lot because my roommate's actually in concert band. So I'll go see her every quarter. And so that's been really fun for me.
Oh yeah, that sounds so fun, especially when you know someone who's actually performing and makes it a little bit, more personal. And we do have a question for you, Karen, okay? It's from Abigail.
Awesome.
So Abigail wants to know, are there opportunities for students to get involved with arts like singing, dancing, theater at Davis, even if they are not in a music major program?
Oh, yes.
And everything.
Yes, all the snaps. So yeah, when you're a student here at UC Davis, we want you to take advantage of all opportunities on campus, no matter what your major is. So even if you're not in the music department or in the theater department, you still have access to those facilities. You can still be in a theater production if you like. You can still be part of, the orchestra or the concert band or anything like that. You'll just sort of like what Darius was saying, take a look at either like their Facebook page or whatever group you want to get involved with and find their contact and reach out. And 100% of the time you will get a response saying, yes, like come be part of our team, because we're super excited whenever anyone else is excited about our passions. Yeah.
Basically, if there is a will or a want, there is a way. So make sure you're reaching out. And I do have a question for Andrea, and it's anonymous, and I might pronounce some of these things incorrectly, so I apologize. Is there a Taekwondo club or group? And then is there a Aikido class or club? I think I'm saying that right. And also we need to know if there's badminton. So we need Taekwondo, Aikido, badminton.
Okay, so I don't know about the clubs for them, but we do offer classes for them. So at the ARC, every student with your student fees gets access to the ARC no matter what. With the classes, though, there might be additional fees to actually be a member of a class, but there are all types of martial arts classes. I see them when I walk by the windows in the ARC, you see them, and it's very impressive everything they can do. For badminton, we do have a badminton court inside the ARC. So there are, I believe, PE classes that you could actually take for a couple credits. There's also at the ARC, when you show up, you can just rent equipment while you're there and use it. And so there's badminton courts, there's racquetball courts, there's squash courts, basketball courts, pretty much anything, you name it.
Perfect. I mean, it sounds like UC Davis, again, as you just said, has just about everything. I do have one question for Karen. I know you're talking a lot about arts, and we have something very iconic at UC Davis, those iconic egg heads that are located throughout campus. What are those?
So these egg heads are just these humongous egg-shaped head sculptures all over campus. There's about 7 of them. And they're sort of like little hidden gems. So a lot of students kind of like to make a fun game out of it, going from one to the next, taking selfies with them. But they were created by one of our very well-known artists named Robert Arneson. He's known as the father of the ceramic funk movement. So he's a pretty funky, cool guy. But yeah, they all have different weird expressions on their faces. So just kind of fun to show the Davis character.
For sure. Its character is a perfect way to describe Davis. Darius, we have a question, and I love how they preface this, okay? And so again, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly. I think it's Orion. Says, I'm kind of a baller, not gonna lie. Can I try out for the basketball team even though I didn't get a scholarship or anything like that for it?
Yeah, my best advice for that is to get in contact with the coaching staff directly here at UC Davis. On the website, they would have all their emails, possibly even their phone numbers on the staff directory. So do a little bit of research, go on UC Davis staff directory page, find basketball associated coaches and get in contact with them directly.
And so you have been a part of a team. And so just for maybe people who have never been on a sporting team before, or they have and it's only high school and they're transitioning to college, can you talk about the team dynamics, and did you make friendships? Did it kind of help your character? I think people want to know, like, give us the rundown of just college sports and being on that team.
Oh man, it's a lifetime experience. Found my brothers for life, for sure. Not related by blood, but just the experiences we've gone through, the ups and downs, things we've endured, the 6 a.m. workouts, time, just simply time together has truly created a bond that I'll never forget.
Yeah. So are you saying like 2 thumbs up?
I'm giving 3 thumbs up.
Okay, good. I didn't know you had 3 thumbs. I'm so happy that
It's
you said
that. We don't really want to talk about it, but
we won't talk about it anymore.
3 thumbs up.
We have another question for Andrea from Yu Meng Ying. Says, if I want to play some sports and improve my skills, are there students or coaches in Davis who could help me out? Like, I love playing tennis, but I'm new to it and want to improve. Will that work on something on campus?
Yeah, so along with the ARC for working out, Campus Rec also offers competitive sports at the club level as well as intramural level. So the club level, you have to try out for the teams usually, but I know a lot of them are very accepting. And then for the intramural level, that's when you can just get with a bunch of classmates and play any sport you want to sign up for. And I saw a lot of the sports pop up. There's Frisbee, there's soccer, there's everything you could probably think of probably. But yeah, so the club sports, I know plenty of people who play on the club teams, and they played in high school, but they didn't want to necessarily play it in college, but the club way has been a great way for them to still experience that athlete life without being in Division I.
Perfect. So the answer is yes. If you're thinking about anything sports related, you want help, you want to play anything, the answer is yes. Okay. Karen, question for you. Do big name performers play at Mondavi?
Ooh, yes. So we have different performers. We also have lectures, like, Hassan Minhaj actually did, I think, like one of his Netflix series things, at the Mondavi Center, which is pretty cool. We've also got lots of sort of niche performers. Like, I heard there was a ukulele band that played there a few years ago. But literally, they've got a whole lot going on.
Awesome. And I actually have a question for all 3 of you, or if anyone wants to take this, or if someone is just really loves bowling. But is there a bowling alley on campus or one nearby? Something that you can be like, this is my spot. It looks like Darius is really
I
excited.
was just, somebody could take the question, but I can bowl. I can bowl.
Well, where do you go? Tell everyone. Where
The MU, right here on campus. We have, what's it called? The MU Gaming Center, whatever it is, the gaming center downstairs to the MU. There's about 5 TVs with all the gaming consoles. There's, why can't I think of the game? Pool. There's pool tables and the bowling alley. So it's a great place just to hang out. They have like giant Jenga there, giant Connect 4. Just a cool little hangout spot, whether between classes or just something to kill time with your friends. You guys can catch me out there bowling 300. So.
Oh, did you just challenge the entire chat group?
Yeah.
Oh, in the chat group right now. Hold on. In the chat group right now, if you want to challenge Darius to a bowl off, say, I challenge you. All right. I want to see how many people are going to challenge you.
Okay.
Okay.
I see you. Okay.
You're
Okay.
done. You're done.
Okay.
As you see all of your opponents.
Yeah, I need to clear my schedule.
Yeah, clear your schedule. Andrea, I have a question for you from Anonymous. It's about a location, okay? Is there a way to practice alone on martial arts on the mat? I'm in karate. They have killer skills and they want to keep their skills sharp.
Yeah, so I keep going back to the ARC, but there's so many facilities within it. So the courts that I was talking about, those are open to anyone as long as there's nothing reserved. So I know for myself, I've worked out on many of the courts just by myself and doing whatever workouts I want to. Just if a class comes along or something like that, then you're just supposed to respect the time. But there is a whole martial arts studio that people can use at their leisure when there's not classes going on. And then of course we have a giant recreation outdoor facility, and that has, I believe, 1 full-size soccer field, which gets used for lacrosse practice, field hockey, soccer, pretty much anything. So there's multiple indoor and outdoor spaces to practice whatever you want.
So one thing we haven't talked about, something that I really like. So in Davis, we all know, gets a little toasty sometimes. Yeah, whether a little bit. We have a pool.
Yeah. So we also have a brand new pool. So Campus Rec in the past 2 years has gotten brand new facilities. So last year was the opening of our brand new rec pool, and it has 1 full lap pool, which is open for people to do workouts throughout the day. And then there's also a recreational pool and a sand volleyball court. I know over the summer it was very packed with people. I know people started studying there during spring quarter last year. And there's 2 locker rooms, so you don't have to worry about like having to show up in a swimsuit or whatnot. All the facilities are right there.
And what's the size of the pool? Is it Olympic size?
No.
Is it big?
The lap pool is very big. I don't know, the rec pool is kind of weirdly shaped, so.
Okay, awesome. Well, you 3, thank you so much. Incredible first panelist of the day. Shout out to Darius, Karen, and Andrea. I will talk to you 3 soon. And again, thank you so much for joining us at Aggie Experience Live. Next up, it's ways to keep both your mind and your body healthy while you're trying to keep your grades up, which is so important. It's my favorite topic. But first, I haven't talked about one thing today, and I haven't even really seen it in the chats. Does anyone want swag? Does anyone want free stuff? If you want free stuff, I want you to type free stuff in all caps in the chat. There has to be free stuff in all caps, okay? Remember, I was showing you everything that we have. I mean, I still have this swag bag that I can just send out. And then as you're typing free stuff, who wants a crown? I love the crown so much. Or if you're driving, look at this. We are hooking you up right now. So I'm going to drop a link in the Zoom chat. You have to follow it to fill out our Google form for a chance to win some branded Aggie goodness. So This is the link I am talking about. This is our link. So go ahead and click it, go into that Google form, because we love free stuff. I know you love free stuff, and that's what Davis is about. If you're going to any sporting events, I know from personal experience, we give out lots and lots of free stuff. All right, up next, I know, so we're going to give this crown to someone. I know we are. Topic number 2 is student well-being. So let's introduce our next panelist from the Student Health and Counseling Services, Student Health Community Counselor, Tracy Thomas. From the Aggie Compass Basic Needs Center, and I am going to apologize right now if I butcher her last name. It is Faith Olajimeji. She will correct that for me. And from the Student Sexual Well-Being Coordinator, Sarah Cisneros. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Faith. And Sarah will pop up in a second. How are you?
Good.
You're good? Good. Sarah, hi. How are you?
Good, yeah.
You're good. Have you been seeing the chat, everyone? Do you see how excited everyone is right now?
Yeah, they're pumped. It's cool.
Yeah. I know. So one thing about me, I don't know if you know, I went to UC Davis. I have my bachelor's in clinical nutrition. So health, wellness, taking care of physical, mental health, all of that is just so important to me. But, you know, sometimes it's hard to manage, especially with the stress load and for being a first-time student, you know, traveling, you're by yourself. And so I'm so excited to talk about everything health, everything wellness. Tracy, we're gonna start with you. How does the Student Health Center help students?
Well, first of all, I wanna say congratulations on getting into UC Davis. How exciting. What a tremendous accomplishment for all of you. And I know that you're probably have a lot of nerves picking the university, and the Student Health and Wellness Center, Student Health and Counseling Services is here to help. I am a counselor on campus, so we offer all kinds of services in terms of your mental and physical well-being. So if you have anxiety or nervousness, or you're homesick, or you're feeling super stressed out over exams, we can help with individual counseling, group counseling. We have a lot of support groups and lots of different services to help you with all of your wellness needs.
And Tracy, could you go a little bit more into detail about your specific role? I know you're a counselor, but what would that look like if I were to come and visit you?
Well, I have a pretty unique role on campus. I am a CAN community counselor, so I'm embedded in some of the community centers and the life centers on campus. So for students who are like, I don't want anybody to know that I'm struggling, and I don't want to go to a health center and see a psychologist or psychiatrist, and I'm too embarrassed to do that, I'm located in the Student Community Center at the SRRC, as well as the Native American Academic Student Success Center. And we have numerous counselors that are within the life centers, as well as the academic satellites. So you don't have to go to the wellness center. You don't have to go to North Hall Counseling. And how somebody might meet me is they can simply email me their schedule and say, hey, I'm just having some difficulties right now, some family stressors, and I want to talk to someone about it. They can have an informal consultation with me. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, but being a CAN counselor, we can just sit in there and talk for a couple of sessions without them having to fill out any paperwork, without having a diagnosis, and we can just talk about resources and understand their feelings. And then if they need more comprehensive help in terms of therapy, then we can transition them into a client, and we'd have a treatment plan and help them to, with all of the different things that they're going through. It's short-term counseling.
Yeah, and mental health can be a very scary thing to talk about. And so just for, peace of mind for everyone, is this confidential if I were to come to you?
Absolutely. Our CAN consultations are confidential. It would just be between you and the counselor. It's under our FERPA guidelines. So, and if you're in therapy, it's HIPAA guidelines. So I cannot reveal anything about the student or even talk to the parents or any family member or friend or teacher or faculty without that student signing a release of information. So they have to give me permission to share any information. And I think that's very comforting to students whose parents are a little bit helicopter parents. And they're like, I don't want my parents to know. I don't, if they might call you. And I'm like, hey, there is not, I can't confirm or deny that I even know who they're talking about. So that's how confidential it is.
Oh, and that is going to make a lot of people feel really comfortable to reach out to you or another counselor. And not only is mental health, really important, physical health is really important. And one topic that was really popular yesterday is we talked about food. Everyone was just really excited. So I know Faith knows food and food and nutrition. And, sometimes it can be a struggle. Sometimes it can be hard to get that basic nutrition or even know. So could you tell us about the Basic Needs Center and who's it for?
Yeah, so the Basic Needs Center, which is in the Memorial Union, which is like the hub of everything at Davis. So basically we're here for every student, both the underserved and everyone in general. So we do offer different kind of resources from Calfresh. If y'all don't know what Calfresh is, kind of like a supplement food where you can get up to 250, I think, on groceries. So you can come into Basic Needs Center. You have people like me at the front desk who can help you apply for Calfresh. You just have to fill out some paperwork and we have to make sure you qualify to get a Calfresh. If you don't qualify for that, we do have other resources, like we have our Pantry. Our Pantry serves every student body, and it's open every week of the quarter. So you can go in there and get up to, I know they have a limit, but you can get as much as you need. And we also have our center, which sometimes we do give out which sometimes we do give out some different kind of resources. We also do something called every Friday we have fresh fruits, fresh vegetables from different places at Davis, from the student farm, from Safeway, from just different grocery stores around at Davis, where they do donate good food. I'm telling you, it's good. So students usually come every Monday and Friday. The days changes every quarter, but for this quarter, if we were in school, it would be every Monday and Friday where you can come and get fresh fruits and fresh vegetables all for free. There's no limit to it. It's just come and take what you need. We also do offer different kind of, if a student is really in need, we offer different kind of resources like DC cards for students who actually need that extra help, extra support. I don't know if we have grad students on here, but for our grad students, we do have a separate pantry at Solano Park, Solano Apartments. We can go on the weekends and get as much as you need. But for the main part, we do our main bulk in terms of food would be the Calfresh, and our Monday and Fridays fresh fruits and fresh vegetables for grabs.
And so we're getting a lot of questions about what exactly Calfresh is and why students should use it.
So Calfresh basically is like it's like a debit card type of thing where you get money reloaded every month. So depending on your income and depending on how much you make a month, and depending on your apartment rent and different types of things that go into it, you get a certain amount of money in your card every month, and then you can take it to any grocery store in Davis that accepts it. Even our market, we have something called Market at the MU. They also accept Calfresh, where you can just go and you can purchase whatever you want at the grocery store, and you pretty much pay through that card. So it's pretty easy, it's very, very handy. Even though you think you don't need it, it takes away about $100 and something a month for food. So it's really, really good, and I do recommend every student, if you qualify for it, to apply for Calfresh. The thing with Calfresh though is if you're first year, since your meal card if you're living in the dorms and you have a meal card, you're most likely not going to qualify just because you're getting all your food sources from campus. But as soon as you move out of the dorms, and as soon as you're not longer on that meal plan, then you can contact the campus and we can help you apply for Calfresh.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Faith. And, physical health isn't just exercise and nutrition. There's one more wellness topic that's important, but sometimes it can be hard to talk about. So Sarah, can you tell us about your role at your center and talk to us about your center?
Yeah, so I actually work for like the public health branch kind of the Student Health and Wellness Center. So I know a lot about the Student Health and Wellness Center, the services they provide there. And within my branch, there's a whole bunch of different sectors that kind of work on different things. So like I personally work on sexual well-being, which includes like we pass out free condoms, we give people lube, like all sorts of stuff, and do a lot of educational stuff, anything that has to do with really sexual reproductive health. And then there's also other people in my office that work on mental health, doing outreach and stuff like that. There's folks that focus on nutrition and do nutrition classes. There's folks that focus on physical well-being, encouraging exercise and stuff like that. And yeah, we're located on the 3rd floor of the Wellness Center.
Okay.
We're closed right now.
Yes, when we are all open and we're all ready to go back on campus. And Sarah, something a little bit of a serious topic, but definitely important to let everyone know, that's listening. Say if I'm in a crisis, how quickly can I see a counselor and get help?
Yeah, so there's, from what I understand, a combination, and Tracy might be able to jump in on this too, but there's kind of a combination of resources that you can access. There's a text messaging service that's like very instant if that's what you're looking for. There's also a like crisis hotline that we can put the number up for after we're done talking. And then also you can go to North Hall and sometimes they'll have appointments open. And then also if you notify someone that you're in a crisis, which includes like a multitude of things for like mental health, they will get you in that day, from what I understand. But I'm sure Stacey might be able to clarify.
Yeah, that's true. We have 2 locations where if you're in crisis that you can go to, as Sarah mentioned, North Hall and the Student Health and Wellness Center. We have counselors on duty that can see students the same day for a one-time visit or crisis visit, and that's offered every day of the week.
And so right now we are actually getting a lot of personalized questions. So I'm going to shoot out a few personalized questions. And I do want to remind, everyone, if you do have a question for Tracy, Faith, Sarah, go ahead and drop it right into that Zoom Q&A. We want to make sure that we are answering everyone. Tracy, we do have a question for you. It's from Angelina. She wants to know what kind of mental health services does Davis offer and is it free? And I know you touched on it a little bit, but kind of those free services, because this is a super important topic for everyone.
Sure. Congratulations, Angelina. Thank you for the question. Counseling services is completely free to all registered students. You don't even have to have the SHIP insurance. So that's a little bit different than the medical services. The medical services do have some copays, but they're very light, within like $15 to $50. And I think they even reduce those. But for counseling services, there is no copay. There is no insurance requirement. And you have to remember it's short term. So if you need long-term therapy, if you have a pervasive diagnosis and we transfer you into the community, it's really important that you have insurance to reduce your costs. And SHIP has a great panel and it's pretty affordable, but you also may insurance to see what kind of resources they have. But we have a variety of mental health services. Not only do we have crisis services for somebody who's just in crisis that minute and needs to talk to somebody right now, but we have individual counseling, therapists that specialize in all different kinds of therapeutic orientations, DBT, EMDR, acceptance and commitment therapy, CPD. And we have groups, a number of groups. We also offer eating disorder treatment, career counseling, a lot of support groups for anything between anxiety, learning mindfulness. There's just a lot of different resources that we offer. And you can go to Student Health and Wellness, Student Health and Counseling Services at UC Davis, and it'll list everything that's available.
And Tracy, we actually have a quick follow-up question from that, from Jill. Is there a limit on the amount of appointments you can make with the center?
Jill, that's a great question. And yes, there is a limit. It is short-term counseling. We have, as you know, thousands of students who want to get in. So we cannot be your counselor for the entire time that you're here. We try to do within, it's not an exact number. It depends on your symptoms and what's going on with you. It's customized and individual, but it's roughly about 10 sessions per academic year and 30 for your lifetime. And then we make sure we're not going to abandon you. We make sure to help you to transition to that long-term therapist within the Davis community. And some of our students prefer to go to Sacramento as well.
Perfect. So there's always going to be resources, and it's not like, oh, you're cut off now and you're done with limited. Tracy and all of the other counselors will make sure that you transition and get the help you need and make it nice and smooth. So thank you so much, Tracy. And we do have a question for Faith. Faith, it's from Anonymous, but they want to know, how does the Pantry work with money and the 3 points per day?
So the Pantry actually does not have anything to do with money. It's all free. They do have a point system. It depends on the week. So sometimes they can have a 5-point system where you can take up to you can take different things worth different points. So you can take rice, that could be 2 points. So now you have 3 points left. Where you can take pasta, that's probably like 1 point. So I don't know if that's making sense, but like each items have different points. So when you go into the Pantry, depending on the day, depending on the week, depending on the amount of donations you get, it's going to be different point systems. So today could be 5 points, tomorrow could be 10 points. It just depends on the amount of items we have to give. So and each item is worth different points. So we can come in, oh, we have 5 points today, and each item will be marked of the points, if that's making sense. So the only thing you actually need to get stuff or food items from the Pantry is your student ID. So there's no money, nothing involved. It's all free, and all you need is just an ID. So yeah.
Perfect. You're making it nice and simple for everyone, Faith.
Yeah.
Sarah, we do have a question for you. It's from Anonymous. How to have fun and stay positive during the gloomy and rainy winter quarter. They need some advice from you, Sarah.
Ooh, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like indoor activities too on like Davis campus. Like we do a lot of like, there's sports events that are indoors that are a lot of fun to go to with friends. Also like getting involved with clubs and like having that. Also really like developing like a self-care routine, which there's like a lot of like one of my departments does like the Each Aggie Matters account, which gives kind of tips on like different things that you can do for your mental health. So doing stuff like that is really helpful, like tea and like figuring out how to take care of yourself and stuff like that.
Perfect. That's good advice. I'm all about self-care. Self-care is the best thing in rainy weather. You throw a mask on, or you're meditating, you have a journal, anything. That can be a variety of things. And this question is actually for anyone, so anyone can kind of take this from Anonymous. Oh, no, actually it's from Nora. Are there blood drives in Davis? And if so, are they student organized? Who wants to take it? Boom, 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 boom. Tracy, Faith? Faith, you take it.
I've seen them on campus for sure. I know we definitely have them at least once a quarter. I just don't know. I don't know how they're run.
Okay. Faith, do you have anything to put in with that?
I don't think they're student run, but I do think students can volunteer. So I believe every month we do have a blood drive truck on campus at the quad, and students can give blood if they want to, if they qualify for it. So you can give blood. We do have blood drives, but I don't think they're student run. But like I said, students can volunteer. And there's so many other options on campus where you can actually, run stuff like that, and where you can actually get hands-on experience. So yeah, you can just there's just other opportunities out there where you can get hands-on experience. But for the blood drives, I don't think they're student run.
I think some of them are sometimes, because I know Red Cross Club sometimes runs 1 or 2 every quarter, but I don't know about the blood source ones. Those might not be student run too, so like agree with that.
We know we have them. We can figure that out, and we'll definitely find that information out. I have 2 more questions. Question from Anonymous. I'm actually going to direct this one towards Sarah. Are there peer crisis counselors, and can I get involved? I know we said that, but maybe just say it one more time for everyone.
Yeah, so I believe that, like, in terms of campus resources, there's not like a peer crisis counseling services that you can like volunteer for, from my understanding. I know that there are some like off-campus organizations that people volunteer with. And then there's like also a lot of other cool ways that you can get involved with mental health on campus, like Mental Health Initiative, which is like student-run organization. They run and they have a mental health conference every year. I think this year it's online, so you might be able to go if you're an incoming freshman. And they do a whole bunch of different stuff, have panels. They also do a bunch of other activities. They had llamas on the quad one year, and they like participate in other stuff too. So like there's other ways to get involved in mental health initiatives on campus that aren't necessarily like counseling.
Oh, awesome. And Tracy, we have one final question. This might be a little bit of a long one, but we're getting a lot of questions on it. Can you talk about health insurance and how UC Davis, how it works at UC Davis? I know we talked a little bit about SHIP. So if you were to reference an outside source for counseling and something a little bit more stable, if you don't have SHIP or if you're covered by your family, just a little bit more about health insurance and how we can get that.
Okay. For both counseling, so counseling doesn't use insurance, it's all free, but for the medical services on campus, they're not going to turn anyone away. You're encouraged to sign up with SHIP because I think it's more cost effective for the students. It's a lot cheaper and you're right there and you don't have to go off campus if something happens, especially if you have a chronic condition or you break your foot or a squirrel bites you. You can just go right to campus and you don't have to worry about a big bill coming. So they've worked really hard, our professionals, to find the right insurance and to make it as cost effective as it can be. And when they compare to like the independent plans that you can get out there, it's relatively inexpensive in comparison. Most students feel like, oh my goodness, I'm going to just bypass that and, not get in SHIP because I don't want that big bill. But then something happens and they're like, gosh, I wish I would have gotten SHIP. It would have been so much more convenient. The referrals providers that we have, in the outside community also take SHIP. So especially if you're coming from an outside area, like if you're on your family's insurance and it's great insurance, that's awesome. Don't feel, that you have to give up that, but you want to make sure that the providers that you can see in Davis or the surrounding area, that they have those providers on your panel within your insurance plan. So check that out with your parents, do some cost comparisons. And for students whose EFC, if your EFC is 0, you could possibly get SHIP for free. So you have to apply and, ask the student, student loans, or what is it called? I can't think of the name.
Figure it out. I think it's part of the student loans division, correct?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Ask about that, but it's possible that it could be free. And you just want to make sure if you're coming in with a pervasive illness, a chronic illness, you want to make sure, especially for counseling services, that you have the insurance and the panel that's going to support your long-term therapy needs, because it is short-term with counseling.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tracy and Faith and Sarah. All three of them are going to be hanging out for a little bit, answering questions. And again, thank you three for joining us at Aggie Experience Live. We will talk to you later. And at UC Davis, we just thrive on information. And we want to know more about you, class of 2024. What are your favorite activities? Okay, I want to do a poll right now. So an instant poll, it's going to pop up. What activity do you enjoy most? Is it watching TV, YouTube, going to a movie theater, sporting event, exercising, playing a sport, museum, video games, cooking, baking, reading books, magazines? I need everyone to vote right now. You never know if I'll give free swag. You never know. You just don't. So everyone, vote. And once you finish voting, I'm going to tell you a little bit about tomorrow's topic, which is academics and colleges. We'll have a conversation about health professions, which is a very popular field, also very difficult. You'll definitely want to talk to an advisor about that. And we'll talk about how to break into undergraduate research. We'll discuss a very popular program called First Year Seminars. And then we'll jump into conversations with students and faculties from some more of the most popular and highly ranked academic disciplines, including agriculture and environmental science, biology, engineering, letters and science, and more. And I think our poll is ready. Okay, let's see. I love all of you. We won at exercising or playing a sport. That took it at 136 votes. And then we only had 34 watching TV, going to a museum. You know, the museum's all yours, all those 12 people that voted from. You stay in those museums, that's perfect. And video game, oh, we got a lot of video gamers, got a lot of gamers. I expected more YouTube, but no one really watches YouTube. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna move on. It's time for today's final segment, and we're thinking globally about your career, internship, study abroad, and more. So to kick it off, we're gonna welcome our next two guests from the Global Learning Hub. It's program coordinator and intake advisor, Dana Armstrong, and student, Cameron Liana. Hello, hello, hello. Dana, how are you?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And apparently Cameron is at the beach right now.
I am. I switched to a different computer, and I guess there have been some settings on here that I was not aware of.
Cameron, are you trying to make everyone jealous right now? Because I feel very offended because I wish I could be at a beach.
You know, me too.
Yeah, you too. Well, Cameron, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm apparently doing great in my environment, so.
I mean, you're just tanning on the beach. Well, as you're tanning, I'm going to come over here to Dana. And Dana, can you tell us a little bit about the Global Learning Hub? Like, what is it? How does it help students?
Yeah, thank you. So everybody, my name is Dana Armstrong. Congratulations on getting into Davis. That's fantastic. I also graduated in 2010, long time ago, and I spent a year at the University of York in England as my study abroad experience. And in doing that, it totally changed the course of my life. And now I've been working at the Global Learning Hub pretty much ever since. So the Global Learning Hub is an office on campus that helps every student have some kind of global learning experience by the time they graduate. So for a lot of students, that looks like study abroad, and we'll talk a lot about that today. But for some other students, that might be study away, so opportunities in other parts of the United States. Or it might be internships and research abroad, or it might be participation here on campus in some internships and research that have a global impact, or workshops here on campus or seminars. And so the reason we have all these different options is because the goal of our office is to prepare students to be global problem solvers. And so the attitudes and the skills that are developed during these experiences are really critical in succeeding in a world that's like more and more interconnected every day. And we see that right now, like with the pandemic, like one thing that happened in Upland, China affects the entire world. So that's what our office is about.
And now that Cameron is back from global traveling and studying abroad, this is what we're talking about. So you were just, you were setting the theme because students want, student perspective. Can you tell us about your experience with study abroad, and were you able to actually stay on track with your course plan?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've actually studied abroad twice, once studying international politics in Granada, Spain, and also studying Russian culture, politics, language in St. Petersburg, Russia. Both of those experiences for me were huge. I was able to take my language learning level for both of them from relatively basic to more or less functional. I was able to make friends that I still have until today. One of my friends I made there actually just got accepted into a Slavic studies program at Northwestern, so I've been talking to him about that a lot recently. And I was able to actually, even getting to your question about staying on track for international relations majors, you have to study certain language and area studies requirements. And I was able to actually almost entirely finish that while I was in Russia. So for me, I was actually able to get ahead. And for a lot of people, that's a concern they have. And you're absolutely able to stay on track while you're studying abroad. For a lot of programs, you're able to pick what you're studying. So that's something you can use to even get ahead if you want to get a huge dosage of a particular aspect that you're looking at.
And you know, my time at Davis, I never even thought about the opportunity of studying abroad, whether it was, you know, brought up or not, maybe because I was a little bit of a homebody. So how long are you actually gone for? Or at least your experience?
Oh, well, for me, I was gone for 4 months at a time, roughly, a little bit less. But we have programs that last for as short as 2 weeks, and you can be as long as a full academic year. If you're looking for programs that are taught by Davis faculty members, you can do 2-week programs, 1-month programs over the summer, or full academic quarter programs in spring or fall. If you go with programs where you are actually enrolling directly into university, that can be 1 month long, be a semester, it can be a quarter, it can be a full academic year.
Awesome. So we have options. You don't have to send me away for a whole entire year, right, Cameron?
Yeah, you don't have to. If you want to, you can, but if you really don't want to be, you know, and I probably wouldn't be in Russia for a whole year. I like the sun. I don't like it too much, but.
And Dana, is financial aid available to help students to pay for participation? Because that can be a tricky situation as well.
That's a great question, and it's a huge issue, of course, for a lot of people, are a big concern. Most students at UC Davis are on financial aid, and most students that study abroad use financial aid. So financial aid is available to go with you, and in most cases, in many cases, it can increase to meet a good amount of that unmet need. And so what that looks like is we actually have a full-time, or have a financial aid advisor in our study abroad office. And so once you identify what program you're interested in, you can bring that budget to our financial aid advisor, and they will work with you to let you know what additional aid you can get. We also have a lot of scholarships available, and so some of that are study abroad awards that we offer in-house. Other times we have a database on our website of a lot of different scholarships, including the Gilman Award, which is a federal one that allows you to get up to $5,000 towards study abroad if you're a Pell Grant recipient. So there's a lot of opportunities there. We also have the Blum Center, which is a funding group that helps support if you have ideas for poverty alleviation projects, they'll fund those. So there's a lot of different opportunities for financial support.
So that actually kind of rolls into a question that we have from the audience right now. And I do want to remind everyone, if you have some questions, just drop them in that Zoom Q&A. Dana, this is from Anonymous. What is the process for getting an internship or getting involved in research?
That's a great question. And so if you're thinking about, I'm going to speak specifically for doing those internationally through the programs that we offer. I know that might look different in other ways. For the programs, for internships to start, we have UC Davis Internships Abroad, which are actually credit-bearing programs that as long as you have a 2.0 and you're in good academic standing, you can enroll in that program, and we work with partners that will actually place you in an internship in that subject area. So if you're doing an engineering internship, we have options in Barcelona, in Argentina, and in Australia. And so they will place you in those places as long as you have a 2.0. Now, the more experience you have, you might end up being placed in an office that's a little more toward, you know, really specific to what you want. Whereas if you're earlier in your years, it might be a more general placement. But in general, if you enroll in the program, you're essentially guaranteed an internship. With the research programs, we partner with universities around the world. And once you enroll, then we place you in a research lab.
And, you know, speaking of internships, we have two people who know a lot about internships and careers. So right now we're going to welcome, again, from Internships and Career Center at UC Davis, we have Tia Setani. I'm sorry, Tia, if I just ruined your last name. Please say it for everyone when you get a second. And one more person, Alejandra Hernandez. Hello, hello. Tia, could you say your last name since I completely butchered it in front of everyone?
No worries, it's Satani.
Satani. All right. So we were just talking a little bit about internships. I didn't know if you heard Dana talk. Could you talk a little bit more about internships? Alejandra, would you start?
Yeah, of course. So hi, I just want to briefly introduce myself.
Please.
I don't have a complete stranger talking to you virtually. So good afternoon. My name is Alejandra. I'm a first generation Latina, and I graduated from UC Davis in 2013. I'm originally from Ojai, California, in Southern California, but I love Davis. I have a background in student affairs, in undergraduate admission, and now career advising. And I specifically advise students in the health and biological sciences. And so at the Internship and Career Center, also known as the ICC, our main goal is to help undergraduate students and graduate students with career readiness and connect them with opportunities in their field of interest, whatever that may be. College is really a large investment of time and in many cases money. And so we want to make sure that students leave Davis with new experiences and internships and have the opportunity to be launched into whatever field of choice they choose, right? So at the ICC, we have a lot of different services that I would say are a little underutilized. I really encourage students to start going to the ICC as early as your freshman year. We have 15-minute drop-in advising with peer advisors. You can meet one-on-one for 15 minutes and go over like Handshake, which is our main website where we post jobs on campus and off campus. We have 30-minute advising sessions with career advisors, and we can look over your resume, your cover letters, how to navigate the job search, how to determine what field you want to go into. If you have an interview coming up, we can do mock interviews as well. We do have workshops that right now we're doing virtually, but usually we have in-person workshops on career writing, how to set up your LinkedIn, navigating the hidden job market, resume basics, cover letter basics. And then we do have a lot of on-campus recruiting events where different companies come and do information sessions and talk specifically about positions open in their companies. Some of those include like Genentech, Google, Intel, Foster Farms, Chevron, the list goes on. And on top of that, we also have the career fairs that we have every quarter. I think we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. And then we also have career courses that are taught by career counselors. And so it's a full 10 weeks in one quarter, a two-unit course where we can go over all of the job search and like career discovery and how to really solidify what path you want to go down, in your job search while at Davis.
Definitely. And so, Tia, from a student perspective, how can students find the internships that maybe match up with their interests?
In terms of finding internships that match up with what you're interested in, it's definitely a lot of self-exploration at first. You want to, try to understand what you're interested in and how that can align with your career goals. We always recommend students to do informational interviews if possible, which, is talking to a professional in field that you're interested in and asking questions. That's obviously what our services are here for as well. If you just want to sit down and talk to one of our advisors about, hey, I'm interested in this field or I'm in this major, what can I do with this? That's absolutely what our advisors are here for. And so you're welcome to come. Well, right now we can't come to the South Hall because it's closed, but we're doing virtual drop-in advising now. And we also have our regular career advising online and via phone. So if you go on our website, icc.ucdavis.edu, you can find more information about how to make appointments, but that's definitely a great resource.
And so that was actually one of our questions, is if staff was available for one-on-one assistance to be able to get, personalized assistance versus something that's more broad.
Oh, sorry, my Wi-Fi is like crap.
Oh, no, it's basically one-on-one assistance that you're able to go in and get that one-on-one assistance with your counselors, correct?
Right. So the two kinds of advising, like Alejandra had mentioned, you have 15 to 20-minute drop-in advising. So students are welcome to just come up to the second floor of South Hall, check in, and then get the resume looked over, cover letter looked over. They're welcome to talk about finding jobs and internships in that time as well with one of our peer advisors. But if they want to make a 30-minute long appointment with one of our career advisors, they would need to make an appointment on Handshake to do that. And I believe once the students, that's the first Friday after the SIR, they'll have access to Handshake and can start looking for jobs and internships at that point.
Perfect. We actually have a lot of questions coming in for all four of you, but before I get to those, I know, Alejandra, you were talking a little bit about some career fairs or resource fairs. Could you just touch a little bit more on that before we get to these questions?
Yeah, so we have the career fair every quarter. We have over 150 different companies come, and it's really just like they're tabling and they're talking one-on-one with students. It's usually from like 10 a.m. until I believe like 2 p.m. Once a quarter, and we have 150 different companies. We usually post the list on Handshake, and we can even filter by major, by career field choice. And then a lot of students go in and do like little 10 to 5-minute conversations with the recruiters. And sometimes these 5 to 10-minute conversations turn into interviews later in the day or like the next week. A lot of the recruiters come back and do full interviews for summer positions or for full-time offers. I do encourage first-year students to attend the career fairs as soon as you can, just so that you can get exposure and see what a career fair is like. I would recommend you do it before you actually need like a full-time job and you're about to graduate, just so that you can kind of get those nervous jitters out of your stomach before it's like the real thing. And then we do have specific workshops on, prepare for the fair. So we tell students like how to practice their pitch, how to introduce themselves to employers, what to wear, dress professionally, how to even like shake hands with an employer, and how to follow up with them like on LinkedIn, or how to send professional correspondence. So all those things are important, not just attending the career fair, like following up and nurturing your network, I think would also be important in like navigating a career fair.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Alejandra. So we have some live questions. We're going to start out with Dana, and this is from Misael. Can undocumented students study abroad? He needs to know ASAP.
That's a fantastic question. So under prior federal administrations, we were able to facilitate undocumented students participating on programs through advanced parole. Currently, we've suspended that because of the climate under the existing administration, which is why we're building up our study away opportunities. So we have global health options in Hawaii, we have global policy options in Washington, D.C., and we have a lot of really cool options within the United States. And so we encourage you to come talk to our office about those. And we very much, like you, I'm sure, hope for the day when we can begin again the advanced parole process so that students can go abroad.
And there's a little bit of a follow-up question on that from Aum, who wants to know, he's an international student. I know that was different than undocumented. So how does the study abroad program affect his tuition and other fees, their tuition and other fees?
That's a great question. So international students that come, I'm going to, it kind of depends on the program that you enroll in based on how your tuition works, but the tuition that you pay here is the same as the tuition that you would pay when you're abroad because it's all through the UC system. But you can study abroad as an international student. We have many international students that come and then they will go and study abroad either back in their home country or in a third country. A lot of students will choose that 2-week winter break program. Maybe they're from India or China, and then they have a 2-week break, so they'll use that to go to Italy or a third place where they haven't been before.
Awesome, thank you. And Cameron, we are running a little short on time, so maybe we can condense this answer because I know you can go so long with this question, okay? The process itself, was it a pretty easy process? It could be intimidating actually getting started from when you apply or when you're thinking about it to when you actually leave.
Right, absolutely. So when you approach it, it can seem overwhelming because there's so much to do. There's an application. If you're filling out certain types of study abroads, there's 2. But at the Global Learning Hub, we have people who are available to help at every step of the process. Myself as a peer advisor, I help students figure out kind of what they're looking for, figure out our search engines, realize what they can actually do when they go abroad, or even our study ways programs here in the US. And then beyond that, we also have advisors who work on teams. We can then direct you to them and they can help you through the process of applying and figuring out next steps. And even beyond that, we go beyond not just the student and staff level here, but higher levels where you go through trainings, orientations, getting ready to go in country. So we have someone to help you with every step of the process.
So Cameron, you're saying if you want to do it, just do it. It's not as scary as it looks, right?
Yeah, if you're having any doubts, you can always come in. I mean, not right now, as has been mentioned before, but I believe we're still accepting emails, so you can just reach out and ask for help. And when things when the office is back open, you have some time to come in and chat, and we can tell you our stories. And we've got all kinds of things that we can help walk you through, even if you just want some materials.
Awesome, thank you, Cameron. And Tia, we actually have a question for you. How competitive is it finding an internship through the UC Center Sacramento?
Okay, so the UC Center for Sacramento, it's a great program. A lot of students have good success with it. I haven't done it personally, but a lot of students that come to our center will talk a lot about their experiences with it. In terms of the competitiveness, I don't know if Alejandra wants to chime in. I'm not the expert on that. I know that a lot of students are interested in our UC programs and specifically in politics. And so I definitely feel like there probably is some competitiveness, but I'm not the expert. Do you know any more on that, Alejandra?
To be quite honest, I'm not the expert on it either because I'm more health and biological sciences. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Can we send them to a website so they can check
Yeah,
it?
of course.
Yeah.
I'll pop it in the chat. Is that fine?
Okay. Awesome. And with our final question, it's for you, Alejandra.
Yeah.
What are some of the leaderships opportunities Davis provides? And that's from Miriam.
Leadership in regards to like internship opportunities and like.
I believe so. Something maybe leaderships in the internship roles.
Yeah, I would say like specifically for health and biological science students, I think one unique program that we have that can allow you to build more leadership experience on your resume is our HRI program, which is Health Related Internship Program, which is pretty unique to the UC system, but you don't have to submit a resume or a cover letter or even do an interview, but you just sign up through a website. It's our HRI website on the ICC's homepage, and you can sign up to there's 500 different types of internships through our system, and at the ICC we do the work on like creating those networks with the different like Sutter Davis Hospital, UC Davis Health Center, the Health Education Council, different private dental sites. So we do all that, that networking for you on your behalf. And so we post those positions so that students can get that leadership experience that they want to add into their resume. And so you just have to complete transcript notation and then complete the 40 hours of that internship. But there's nothing really extra a student needs to do, because a lot of times students come in saying, I want more leadership experience, or I want lab experience, or I want to add more to my resume, but I don't have anything on my resume, so it's hard for me to get in the door. But through our HRI program, I think that really helps students kind of start building on their experience. And then, do I have?
That was it. You did it.
And then I think that's a lot for like health and biosci students, but for any student in general, I think one thing I would recommend is follow us on social media. We have a lot of posts that Tia is in charge of when we have like on-campus recruiting events. I also recommend joining listservs, because through the listservs of clubs or your major, you can find out about different leadership opportunities on campus. Even like when the ICC is hiring, we send it to our academic advisors or different people we know on campus so they can distribute positions on their listservs. So I think that's probably like the fastest way to kind of narrow down what you want to do or how you want to build your leadership experience.
Perfect. So we have so many different things, available. And I'm so sorry that I'm cutting you off, Tia. I do not mean to do that, but we are all out of time. I'm giving you a virtual round of applause for all four of you, Dana, Cameron, Alejandra, Tia. Thank you so much. And honestly, thanks to all of our awesome panelists today. We appreciate you joining us for Aggie Experience Live. Join us tomorrow. Remember, same place, same time. Tomorrow's topic is academics and colleges. And before we sign off, I have some great online resources to share with you. Don't worry about writing them down. We're going to drop all of those URLs right into the chat. And first, I want to tell you, tomorrow is not the end of Aggie Experience Live. The series continues. This week, we've been covering topics of interest to nearly everybody. So next week, starting on Monday, April 13th, we'll have many more groups to meet online so you can drill down into the topics that specifically interest you. So you can connect directly with all four colleges: agriculture and environmental sciences, biological sciences, engineering, letters and science. You can connect with the student communities. Parents, we have you covered too. Our alumni relations will host a parent and family panel where new parents can connect with parents of current students and alumni parents. And that's all at ucdavis.edu/AEL2 for Aggie Experience Live 2. For notes on tomorrow's program or to watch or to rewatch any of our earlier episodes, you know where to go. It's ucdavis.edu/Aggie Experience. And if you have follow-up questions about admissions, don't miss our chat sessions after this. Chat with live admissions advisors starting at 5:15 at ucdavis.edu/QA. Oh, do I see Winston? Should I get Winston? Okay, I have one more URL. And if you have questions on just about anything we covered this week, you'll find answers at ucdavis.edu/experts. Let me get Winston. Hold on. He's sleeping, everyone. He's tired. Hold on. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh my goodness. Can everyone say goodbye to Winston? And he'll be back tomorrow. Look at his face. He's so exhausted. Bye, everyone. Good night. We will see you tomorrow. Say bye, Weenie. You're such a good guy. Bye.